gets another title, and in fact this is a record. Tucked away at Huang Yachong. Tyler Liu completes another remarkable comeback here. 4 long years, Wang Ziyi. Anders Antonsen has won it for a second time. Leo Rolli, Fernando and Daniel Martin have successfully defended their title from last year.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Badminton Weekly with me, Jasmine Lim. The iconic Istora Senayan took center stage last week as the season unfolded its third tournament of the year, the Daihatsu Indonesia Masters 2024. Now that of course will be our main focus today, and accompanying us to talk us through some of the biggest headlines is none other than Scotland's #1, Kirsty Gilmour. Welcome back to the show, Kirsty.
Hi Jasmine, thanks for having me again.
Let's dive straight into the thick of things. Istora boy Anders Antonsen continued his perfect start to 2024. 2 tournaments, 2 finals, 2 titles. The Dane has been on fire, hasn't he, Kirsty?
Yeah, it's been an impressive start to the year and like a really well managed start to the year for Anders as well. To win Malaysia and then to take the time to recover his body and his brain afterwards and then execute again this week. Really like impressive to see how he's managing the situation as well. And I think it was a really interesting final. You've got Anders, who's, you know, in the grand scheme of things or comparably more experienced in going long in tournaments, playing finals. And then you've got, on the other hand, Brian, who's super physical and like a bit newer to going late in tournaments and playing finals. So I think like psychologically, such an interesting game. I think what Anders did very well was marry his full power smash with those sticks down to the service line. I think the drift came into play as well there. Using down Brian's backhand was quite important. And then once you put it down there and use the drift enough, suddenly there's a big space over the other side. So I think it was a really well managed game in terms of shot choice. Again, really impressive for Anders, and Brian really did make a nice little comeback at the end. I think we were all kind of on the edge of our seat, so it was just an incredible final.
It's insane. Back-to-back titles is a big dream of mine. I wanted to win this match so bad. I couldn't sleep tonight or last night. Maybe slept 2 or 3 hours, just constantly thinking about this opportunity. And yeah, it almost slipped. I'm so happy that it didn't.
Despite coming in second best, Brian Yang definitely still has plenty to be proud of. The Canadian is the first ever Pan American men's singles player to reach a Super 500 final. So it's no surprise why he's BWF commentator Jeevan Selvanathan's player of the tournament. Let's hear from Jeevan, who was on site to witness Brian's fairy tale run.
This week for me has been, there's been a lot of great performances. I think mainly the qualifiers that came through, because there were a lot of players that withdrew from this in light of the Paris Olympics. But I think it's been a great week for Canadian badminton. One, because Michelle Lee, after 5 months off in terms of surgery, got her first win. She's been on the tour for the Malaysia Open and India Open, lost in the first round, got her first win. That is so important for her in terms of getting her momentum going. But of course, Brian Yang, 22 years old. This is a guy who basically has really featured on the international challenge circuit. He made 13 finals, but now, and he's admitted this, he's added patience to a game that includes a 5'11" frame. He's always been he's one of those powerful players. He's always had the fundamentals sorted out on court, but now he's waited, and it proved its worth when he took on Li Shifeng.
And if that wasn't enough, Brian then put on another masterclass of patient build-up play in the semi-finals against home hero Anthony Sinisuka Ginting, with his second win over a top 5 player in 7 days. But even without his first world title in the bag, his run in Jakarta this week means he's undoubtedly our standout performer of the week.
Honestly, I think I also exceeded my own expectations this week. But yeah, I think it's a good surprise, of course. And I think now I'll be, when I'm playing the next tournaments, I'll be, have more confidence, and then hopefully I'll be able to play better.
My standout moment commentating this week at the Indonesia Masters was Zheng Shiwei and Huang Yaqiong taking on Terry He and Jessica Tan. Terry He and Jessica Tan, I'll be completely honest with you, I never really gave them the credit that they should be getting. And from about halfway through last year, they started picking up their performances. They are the first Singaporean mixed doubles pair to have won a Commonwealth Games medal. They are the first Singaporean pair now after the Malaysian Open to reach the semi-final of a Super 1000 event, and they're within the frame to be the first Singaporean mixed doubles pair to qualify for the Olympics and possibly win a medal as well. So their performance against Zheng Shiwei and Huang Yaqiong, which came down to the last 2 points, they pushed them right to the end with Terry's backcourt attacks. Jessica was all over the net. That was a standout moment for me this week.
Thank you, Jeevan, for that. Now, Team China earned a hat-trick of titles at the Estora, with Zheng Siwei and Huang Yaqiong kicking it off. They breezed past Japanese duo Hiroki Midorikawa and Natsu Saito in straight games, and the win means they're now the most successful players in the tournament's history with 5 titles. Now, after the final, the pair shared that they were still recovering from being ill, which makes this win even more impressive, doesn't it?
I think so. To still be recovering from illness and kind of gauging yourself at 80% of your maximum is it's mentally tough to be in that place, but sometimes it allows for freedom in that your expectations of yourself are slightly lowered and you throw everything you've got at it without that like expectation of pure performance. I also think the performance is owed to Zheng Siwei's just clinical nature from the back. The power he has in his mid-court to get it below tape to set up Huang is second to none, and then mix that with his power. It was so difficult for the Japanese pair to find a space to get him off balance. I challenge anyone to get Zheng Siwei off balance. He's just the world's best at it.
Oh, we are so happy. This is a so meaningful place to us here. The fans here, they support us. They always bring some luck to us. So they are one of the most important reasons we want to come here. Even last week we were sick. Yeah.
China's 2 other titles came from Wang Zhiyi after she defeated Nozomi Okuhara, while Liu Shengxiu and Tan Ning came from behind to earn their 2nd title of the year. But now let's turn to men's doubles, where Leo Carnando and Daniel Martin defended their title against Kim Astrup and Anders Rasmussen. Now, despite a tough decider, it just felt like it was destined for them to retain their title in front of their home crowd, wasn't it?
What a special circumstance to be under. You are the last final of the day and there hasn't been an Indonesian winner, which Indonesian fans are not used to this. So for the men's doubles to go on and to get in the zone and to put in the performance that they put in, like psychology wise, I think it should be studied, because I think to be able to produce that performance under such pressure is just incredible. And I think so much about men's doubles is that first 4 service situation, but once we got into the rallies, we saw the Indonesians give it absolutely everything. Maybe they got a lift from the home crowd, but also to be able to really focus in and really show their physicality in that 3rd and final set and to seal it off. They must have been so happy with that lead that they created for themselves once they got to 20. It was just right there for the taking. So yeah, really impressive with how they just sealed off, especially that 3rd game.
So here's how the race to Paris is shaping up after the Daihatsu Indonesia Masters. Anders Antonsen is now in 4th after jumping 4 spots up. Kunlavut Vititsan and Loh Kian Yu are the only other players who have improved, moving up 2 spots to 7th and 13th respectively. No movement in the women's singles top 8, with most opting to sit out of the Indonesia Masters, but Wang Zhiyi's win sees her climb a spot up to 9th. No changes in the men's doubles top 8 as well, but Leo Carnando and Daniel Martin's successful title defense sees them move up a spot to 11th, closing the gap between them and fellow Indonesians Fikri and Maulana. Zheng Siwei and Huang Yaqiong remain undisturbed at the top of the mixed doubles standings, with runners-up Hiroki Midorikawa and Natsu Saito moving 2 places up to 10th. finally, Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning jumped 3 places up to move into the top 3 of the women's doubles standings, making them one of the top 2 Chinese pairs. Now, they may not be in the thick of the Olympic qualification, but Danish mixed doubles pair Jesper Toft and Clara Gravesen still made waves in the badminton world after their career best performance at the Indonesia Masters, storming through the qualifying rounds and securing a spot in the last 4. We caught up with the Danes to see just how significant this achievement is to the duo.
I think just to be brave. I think really that's what has made the huge impact on us this week, because if we didn't, then we wouldn't have even been playing today. So I think what we've probably learned the most from is being brave actually pays off. So we should strive to do that more often.
And I think we can more than we actually think we can, if you can say that.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to put this in our back suit, and then we travel to Thailand tomorrow, and then we are ready for a new tournament next week. I think that's how we see it.
It's extremely motivating for us. I think like the past couple of months, they haven't been great for us. We've struggled a bit tournaments before New Year's, and coming here with the first tournament of the year and doing this well is just like we needed that, and yeah, huge motivation for the future. Yeah.
Incredible. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it has been so fantastic to play in this Istora. So yeah.
Yeah, it's been a huge experience for us. Nothing like we've ever tried before. So we've really appreciated this whole week and the fans and the atmosphere and just everything. Like, enjoyed all of it. Even today when we didn't play that well.
Toft and Gravesen will be at the Thailand Masters this week. Kirsty, do you see them making the same impact in Bangkok as well, considering the draw they've been dealt?
I think it's entirely possible for Toft and Gravesen to, follow up such a great performance in Indonesia Masters, in Thailand Masters. Saying that, they have a pretty tough first round. Again, I think the Danes are going in as the underdogs, but they did that so well last week. And yet we saw a kind of similar thing in 2017. I was just thinking back to 2017 where Effler and Seidel got to the semi-final of Korea Open. It was their first tournament, so we have seen it happen before, and they've gone on to have great careers. So yeah, this could be the start of something great for this mixed doubles pair of Toft and Gravesen.
And finally, eyes will be on Yuki Fukushima and her new partner, Riko Kiyose. This pairing, of course, came about after Yuki's original partner, Sayaka Hirota, sustained an injury at the Side Modi International last year. Sayaka initially shared that she would need to go through surgery, but has now chosen to opt out in hopes of rejoining the race to Paris. What do you make of Sayaka's decision here, and how do you think this temporary pairing of Yuki and Riko can benefit the two?
It's a difficult decision as an athlete for that management of injuries. No one wants to, go under the knife, as it were. There's risks in that too. So I hope this is the right decision for her personally, and we want to see her back on court as soon as possible. And in terms of Fukushima, I think it's the correct decision for her to keep in that tournament performance mode with the new partner, and patiently wait for Hirota's return, should we see it, and we've all got our fingers crossed that very much is the case.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you so much, Kirsty, for taking the time to join us and share your insights with us, as always.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Now, mark your calendars for the first Super 300 tournament of the year, the Princess Sirivannavari Thailand Masters, happening this week from the 30th of January all the way through to the 4th of February. Like always, if you guys are on the go, you can always stay up to date on our BWF app, Badminton for You, for all the latest news, match updates, and statistics. And of course, don't forget to share your comments, thoughts, and questions with us on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Until next week, everyone, take care and goodbye.